we're in pretty big trouble right now. These Democrats of today are not the Democrat Party of our parents or grandparents. Okay.
Of the Margaret Thatcher quote, the problem with socialism is that you eventually run out of other people's money. If anything, my friends, it seems that you eventually need a socialist to clean up the mess. On January 1st, I told New Yorkers that City Hall would hold a singular purpose: to make this city belong to more of its people than it did the day before. For 102 days, we have endeavored to do exactly that, delivering both public goods and public excellence.
Wow.
Where did he deliver that to? Because it must have been to New Jersey. It's not in New York. If he's looking for New York's excellence, it's moved to Florida. It's in Palm Beach. It's in Boca. That's where New York's excellence is. It's moved to another state.
I don't understand the cheers. What the hell are they cheering for? Even if the quote he just quoted from Margaret Thatcher, why would you need it doesn't even make sense to cheer that. And why would you need a socialist to come and clean it up? They already used the money. I don't even understand the cheers. That audience looks like to be relatively young. So again, a lot of young people tend to think other people's money is going to pay their way, but they don't realize how money is actually created. I don't get it. This is just
they're cheering because they were told to clap. That's what they do. This new generation, when you tell them to clap, they clap. When you tell them to stand, they stand. When you tell them to walk off of a cliff, they walk off of a cliff. And this is exactly what they're doing right now. This, folks, our founders, if our founders saw what this thing Zohran Mamdani is doing, that he was even elected, and then to hear him say such things, they are rolling over in their graves. They designed our country of limited government with checks and balances, property rights. That's foundational to the American system. And here you have him spouting off the benefits of socialism. Okay. Yeah. This is crazy. What happened? I just don't understand.
I agree with you, KJ. I think George Washington would put a musket ball in his ass. I mean, he would shoot him and keep it damn pushing. But the truth of the matter is that looks like New York's young Democrats and his administration. That's what that crowd looks like. And I'm sure if somebody had some free time and sat down and took a look at him, you could probably match him up with all the young Democrats, which is an organization like our Young Republicans, who think that socialism is cool, right? Because spending other people's money like a drunken sailor sounds like a good idea until it's your damn money. And if they are smart, they would listen to their governor who holds the purse, who's telling them we don't have enough money for our generous social programs. We do not. So when the rich people are gone, who do you think they're going to get the money from?
Yeah, it's they're going to get it from the middle class. And it's not just that. I mean, New York City is just imploding. The New York Post has a piece out today. The new NYC train bus robberies climbed 21% from the same period last year, and it'll only get worse, is what experts are saying. And this is just one thing. Now he's talking about a government owned grocery store, and they're putting money towards that. I mean, this thing is already costing millions of dollars for this grocery store, and they just continue to keep doing it as long as they have the people there to continue to pay.
Well, when he runs out of money, again, this is the thing that's really detrimental to the rest of America, right? Because right now it just sounds like a New York City problem and very shortly a New York State problem. When that state starts to fail, we're all on the hook to save it. That's a part of being in the union. It's a part of being in the union. But, I would dare say there would be a lot of strings attached to any bailout money. There would be some significant and profound strings attached to ne'er a nickel that went their way. This is again a waste of our taxpayer money.
Nicole, when you just said bailout, that literally made me sick.
Yeah,
that literally made me sick.
Yeah, we're going to have to bail them out because in America, we can't have people dying in the street from hunger because their jackass mayor has $100 apple.
Ain't nobody
doesn't
starving.
quite understand economics. It just He must have skipped them days. Must have skipped it.
Yeah. Ain't nobody
it's not just, it's not just in New York City though. It's here. It's where all of these Democrats are planting roots. They are more and more progressive. It's just that Mamdani is actually saying he's a socialist. The rest of them are socialists, and they're just not saying it yet. Take a look at this next clip. This is here in Maryland. How now they have added a fee on the price of paint to pay for a nonprofit. This is clip 5.
Professional painters, the state's new fee attached to every gallon of paint sold in Maryland is difficult to digest.
I was immediately just sitting in there doing the math, and I'm like, this can't be. How can this be? I'm like, and I was livid.
The new fee, which went into effect last week, adds $1.15 to the price of a gallon of paint, an additional $2.25 for 5 gallons. All of the new revenue will go to Paint Care, a nonprofit organization which will operate a new paint recycling program.
It's not okay that it's $1.15. It's not okay that it's another 50 cents. It's not okay that it's $2 more. It's not okay. It's not okay.
Diana has spent her career as a professional painter and says consumers should not be charged a fee for purchasing paint.
I never heard of such, Shelley. I mean, I've heard of private companies asking you to give a little extra if you want to put it towards something, but to mandate an additional fee on goods and services?
Yeah. I guess they're gonna call it following the law. I mean, the legislature's made this law,
right.
And keep in mind it goes to a nonprofit that the state has contracted with outside of the people. Basically, you have no choice. You buy some paint. I know the different sizes are going to be rated differently as far as the extra fee, but again, according to Wes Moore, he's making Marylanders, less fees and no taxes or reducing the tax burden. This is another scam, okay? It's another scam, again, instituted by the legislatures here in Maryland on paint. Talk about watching paint dry. I mean, this is ridiculous. They will come up with any and everything, okay? Our money going to an NGO that the state has designated. I was looking at the website for these people earlier, and they had this policy, something about extended government purposes or whatever. So basically, this NGO is in quote unquote business to lobby and come up to the government, make up policies that sound environmentally friendly and all this stuff that we have to pay for. I told you, angering does not even begin to capture the sense of betrayal, the sense of fraud, every which way. And let me remind you for the third time, Wednesday, we have to prove that we did not keep our own earned money. Bam. There you go.
Nicole, what are your thoughts here?
There's a vicious rumor that this NGO is not even in our state.
Wow.
Let's do that. But Maryland had a terrible paint pollution problem, said no one ever, right? Mm-hmm. Here's the rub. This NGO is going to funnel this money back to the DNC to keep Maryland a blue state. This is what they're going to do. Because Maryland had such a significant and profound paint problem that our state legislature had to take it up. Now, where was all of this concern when that pipe full of 30 million gallons of shit, right? The legislature hasn't done anything with that. I'm sorry. The last time I was in Baltimore, I drove across the Key Bridge. No, I didn't. Where's the damn bridge? No, that's not important. But paint for an NGO, not in our state, but we're going to fund anyway, tells me that if we follow that money, it's going to land in some Democrat campaign coffers. Make no mistake. Make no mistake.
Yeah. Can I add one thing to this? You said follow the money. I tried to follow the board and the members. Well, one layer, it's just like 3 different layers to this travesty. There's the Paint Care, which is a nonprofit 501c3. Then they are a subsidiary of an organization called American Coatings Association, the ACA. Then who is also connected or a part of this institute called the Product Stewardship Institute, PSI, which gives out some kind of PPSI, paint producer stewardship initiatives. It's all layered in, and it's going to be hard to find. At one of the sites, I think the first one, they didn't list any board members. They said this site is only for members. So then you have to keep digging deep to see how all these different layers, and maybe these people are not related familially, but business and NGO wise, it's a scam.
Sound like they got plenty of money to me.
Our
my money.
Yeah.
And on top of this is just one additional fee. We've already had tons of fees. This is just another fee added to us. We had the paint fee. Okay. We got unemployment rate jumps to 4.3%, 1.4 billion in the budget deficit, massive Sheraton hotel closes in downtown Baltimore. I mean, all this stuff is adding up, and where Maryland is becoming just a tough state to live in. It really is.
Not becoming. It has been. From the moment they wanted to tax the rain. Again, we're the state where if it rained, there was a tax associated with the rain. Right. So none of this surprises me. There's a fee on mattresses. You can't even sleep in this state without paying them, and you better not die. You may not die. You need to pay first, and then you can die. It's getting to the point where they feel like we're captives, and Virginia's not calling. Pennsylvania's not calling. West Virginia's not calling. They act like we have to stay. And that is probably the worst idea, because people who are moneyed in Maryland are leaving. Absolutely leaving.